scientist up, let's turn the page on. We have Michael Richmond.
Hello, JoCo. Can you hear me? Those who want to hear me. All right, I'm not going to use the microphone if I can get away with it, because I don't want to annoy the people who don't want to hear me. So, I'm going to be here to talk about things that go flash in the night. I'm an astronomer. If you're interested in astronomy, please come and find me for the next couple of days, and I'll be happy to answer all of your astronomy questions. So, I will ask you 2 questions during the course of this brief 5-minute presentation. Be ready to answer when I ask you. So, the 3 questions. Question number 1, do any of you recognize the star pattern shown on this brief half-second image taken with a digital camera? I see many hands raising. Yes. What is it?
Big Dipper.
The Big Dipper, exactly. That is a familiar constellation. It looks like a dipper. Big. And it has 7 bright stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Someone is now going to say, actually.
Actually.
What do I mean about 7 bright stars? One is a double star, yes, it's Alcor and Miser, they're actually 2. Okay, when people were back in the Arabs of the desert would tell their kids, when you are old enough to distinguish the 2 stars, I'll give you the bow and arrow to play with. If you can never distinguish them, you don't get the bow and arrow, which I think was a very smart way. Anyway, so this is the familiar pattern. I am now going to show you another picture taken at a slightly different time, and you tell me if you see any differences.
Yes.
I am interested in finding things that change in the sky. Stars or other objects that might suddenly emit a flash of light and then disappear. There are some objects we know of called supernovae that are stars that explode. They take weeks and weeks and weeks to rise up to their maximum luminance and then fall back down into the void. But suppose that there were an object that just poof, very briefly flashed out. There are some objects like that that we know of in gamma rays. There are some objects like this in radio waves. Are there any that brief optical flashes? This is what it would look like if the object flashed for 1/2 of a second and I took a 1/2 of a second photograph. You would say, haha, there is a new star added to the Big Dipper. It would be obvious. Most astronomers do not take pictures that are only 1/2 a second long. Most astronomers use big telescopes, they want to see faint things, and they open their shutters and leave them open for 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, or even an hour, so they can see the faintest little stars and galaxies. What would happen to this picture if instead of exposing for 1/2 a second, I exposed for 5 seconds? But the new star only flashed out for a moment. Well, I will tell you what would happen. All the other stars are normal stars. They keep emitting light. We keep recording the light for 5 seconds. Light, 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 light. The star that briefly flashed would poof, give a brief flash, but then for the next 4.5 seconds, do nothing. And so by comparison, the thing I'm interested in looks a lot less obvious. Most astronomers don't even take pictures that are 5 seconds, they take pictures that are at least a minute or more. And look what happens when you take long exposures. The thing you want to find becomes a lot less obvious and hard to see. So here's my first big question for all of you. You can take 10 seconds to answer it. Feel free to get help with the people next to you. Suppose you wanted to find objects that only flashed briefly, and you knew that this would happen if you took long exposures. What is a logical thing to do if you want to find objects that only flash briefly? You got 10 seconds, think about it, think about 10 seconds. And then I'll ask someone to explain the technique you would use to make it obvious that an object has gone flash. All right, you've all had a chance to think about it. You were raising your hand from the beginning. You know the answer. What is it?
Would write a program to take a rolling 5-second average.
Yes, you would write you'd use your telescope and only take a short exposure image because that's where the flashy thing would be most obvious. So here's the problem. If you take a picture every half second and you want to do it all night long, you got to take a lot of pictures. And you have a lot of data. And that means there's going to be a lot to analyze. Well, what I've done, I'm part of a team of Japanese astronomers who built a special camera that has 84 chips, each of which has 2,000 by 1,000 pixels. So each one is a 2 megapixel, and there's 84 chips, so how many megapixels is that? It's a lot of megapixels. And we take pictures every half second, ka-chunk, 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 and we do that all night long. Would anyone care to guess how much data we collect over the course of a night with 84 chips, each 2 megapixels, each taking pictures half a second?
All of them.
Mental math, mental math, mental math. It's over 7 terabytes each night, which is a lot of... Yes?
You could have it auto-delete the ones that don't deviate from the baseline.
Indeed, what I do is I don't build the cameras, I write software that tries to look for the things that are not always there, but only sometimes there. Indeed, that was my little part of this project. So, this camera sits the back of the Kiso-Schmidt telescope. I will answer your question in just a moment.
Can you speak up? It's really hard to hear you because they got really loud.
So we use this beautiful telescope, which is, I'll talk louder. Do any of you have cameras at home, or with you? Nikon cameras? Does anyone have a telephoto lens? I have a 3,300 millimeter telephoto lens. This is the biggest lens Nikon has ever made because it is a lensy type camera in the front. It is specially designed to give a wide field of view to cover big areas on the sky so we can look over large expanses. It sits in this beautiful dome that was designed to look like a samurai helmet, I am not making that up, sitting in the mountains of central Japan. And we open it up when the skies are clear. It is central Japan, that is not very often, and take pictures of the sky and look for things that go flash. There are things in the sky that we're not interested in that go flash. They're called satellites. And as you know, there are some nasty, nasty companies sending up more and more satellites all the time, and they tumble and make flashes. So what we do is we point at the region of the sky which is in the shadow of the Earth. So of course satellites only shine when sunlight hits them. So if they go into the shadow of the Earth, the sunlight can't hit them and so they don't flash. So we point at that direction and we take pictures over and over and over again. And we look for things that are new. So I'm going to show you one. Because in the year 2020, we were taking pictures of the sky. And this is what it usually looks like in frame number 106. And this is what it looked like in frame number 107. Can you see any difference in frame number 108?
Yes.
Was it real? Or was it just maybe a flash of noise? Well, when we took the next set of pictures, there's frame number 109. It is still there, but then it disappears in 110. This showed up for exactly 2 frames. So a total of 1 second. And it did not reappear. It was way brighter than the noise level. These are what ordinary stars are doing, blah, blah, blah. There's a little jitter because the atmosphere is a little jitter. The thing that we looked at was not there at all, not there at all, not there at all, and then bam! It was definitely there for 2 half-second exposures, and then it disappeared, and it hasn't come back as far as we can tell. So we wondered, is there anything funny going on there? We took another different telescope and looked back at that area of the sky, and this is a much bigger, deeper picture taken by a more powerful telescope looking exactly there. You can see there are all kinds of faint stars and galaxies you couldn't see in our pictures. Is there anything at the location of this little flash? No. And so, you can tell this is science because it took us, what year is it now? 2025? What year did this happen?
2020.
We're still about to get it published. So anyway, we don't know what this was, and as far as we know, no one knows what it was. So perhaps you will be the first people to figure out what was the thing that went flash in the year 2020. Are there any other... What was that? Did someone say what?
The COVID virus coming to land.
That timing would just about work out, wouldn't it?
A ship coming out of war.
So that is my story of looking for things that go flash. We're still looking, have not found a second flashing thing. This is the only object that we've discovered so far. But we're still looking. And I would say this is time to answer questions, except my boss will tell me I should stop.
Yeah, thank you. Michael, I have a few questions for you, just to get to know you a little bit more. You're working with a team of Japanese scientists. How did you wind up working with a team of Japanese scientists?
When I was a postdoc at Princeton, I was part of a big collaboration. There were some Japanese scientists, and I played soccer, and 2 of them played soccer. And since then, we've kept in touch, and I've gone over, and they've invited me, and so that's why.
This happens a lot in science. Some of my best collaborators, I just started playing Magic the Gathering with them, and then now we're publishing some revolutionary AI kind of stuff. Did you always feel like you had a call to astronomy and the stars, or is that something that you developed over time?
My parents tell me that they took me to the Boston Museum of Science Hayden Planetarium when I was 3 years old, and there was a show on the Big Bang, and so they made it dark, and then they made a Big Bang, and I started crying.
I saw that.
And were you there?
Maybe.
So ever since then, I guess astronomy has had a very strong effect on me.
Okay. And then if you had to describe you as a child in a couple of words, what would that be?
Pretty much what I am now.
To be?
Handsome,
I was going to say that.
debonair, charming, a good soccer player.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, but I was pretty good when I was young.
Great legs.
Thank you.
You bet.
So yeah, pretty much like that.
Excellent. Well, thank you for presenting. Thank you. We're going to switch to our improv. Oh, sure. Please go ahead.
Michael, you said that most scientists they're taking longer images, so they're looking for something else. What are they looking for?
Faint galaxies near the edge of the observable universe.
Thank you.
All right, officially over. Okay, as per our show, this is the time that we switch to improv. So I'm going to introduce our improvisers one at a time. If I can remember correctly, it's going to be alphabetical. You'll be the judge of that. First, we have Erica Christensen. And then we've got 2 Dysons coming up. But first is Amber Dyson. And we got the fantastic Dave Dyson. We had 2 Dysons. We want to keep up the pattern. We're going to have 2 Chris's. First, Chris Hill. And let's make the pattern. Let's have a Chris Hill figure. All right. We're going to do some long form view, just kind of montage or running scenes, and it's going to begin right now.
So, I have a plan for a new building, but it has to be hat-shaped.
Of course it does.
Samurai was already taken by the Japanese.
Again?
What do we? I know.
That's the 8th hat-shaped building that they've stolen from us.
Every time.
Bonjour! Oh, great. It's a triform hat.
We could work with that.
I think we can. We can make it a triangle building.
No one's ever done one of those before.
No, there's a pentagon and there's a lot of circles and squares, but there's not a triangle
But not
anywhere.
a triangle. But it has to be obtuse. Has to be no acute, no isosceles, obtuse.
Well, damn it, why not? We can't have an acute.
We can't.
What if it's just a little chibi?
Maybe we have the big obtuse and then a little side building just acute, so it could be like a parent and child building.
Look, Janet, I've got a feeling that you're telling me that I'm too obtuse.
Well, you're just about ready to take your driver's license test.
Sure am.
But first, I need you to tell me how many stars you see up there.
Flash, go.
Oh my god! 7,032.
Flash.
33.
Congratulations, you're a driver!
Wow, that's amazing!
Hi, I'm here for my driver's test and getting my arrow.
Yes, so I have you on my schedule here.
Thanks.
You must be Roger.
I'm Roger, yeah.
Yes.
You must be Melissa.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How many stars do you see?
Flash.
2,
Flash.
4, 6, 8. Is this a whole series kind of thing?
Well, I'll just need your final answer.
Flash.
Stars. You're just whispering something. Just don't mind this for one second. I'm just gonna check the universe. 12? Flash. Oh, 11. Oh, sorry. The universe is angry with you.
Flash.
2. 100.
Congratulations!
Thank you, arrow, sir. Thank you. Melissa, you've been so kind to me at the DMV. Do you want to split this arrow with me?
Oh, it would be an honor.
It is so hard being an eternal being. This is the 5th child that hasn't been able to see 2 stars.
I know. We have to do something about
He's
this.
still got the arrow.
He's still got the arrow. Their standards are going way down.
I don't understand. Billions of years of standards. You see the 2 stars, you get
Stars
the arrow.
get the arrow. It has been written like that since time immemorial.
Thank you, and thank you for writing it.
I mean, I just like to dabble in a little writing now and then. You see 2 stars, you get your arrow. I thought it was cute.
It was so perfect. And you know what? When you see the bear, then you don't have to shit in the woods anymore.
Ah, yes, that is. Hello.
I just came from the Grimorian planet.
Oh,
Yes.
Very nice this time of year.
Well, you would think so. Except, see, their ocean is acting up.
Oh.
And the people down there just decided, I don't know, counting waves. They all got participation trophies. None of them got it right.
There are no standards anymore.
How do you even count waves?
Don't
You can
know.
clearly count stars. Flash, flash means 2.
Every time you flash those people, they just, I don't know.
Maybe
don't
I'm not
see it.
flashing long enough.
Maybe expose yourself a little longer.
I think that's the better phrasing somehow.
I mean, I don't mean to brag, but this is like the biggest carrot that Nigon has made. You're not gonna find another one.
I mean, I'm really impressed at all of the vegetable designs that they've come into lately.
Yeah, I bet you are. My celery, my beetroot. Yours, small. Smallest beetroot I've seen.
You know what? It's not all about the size of the beetroot. Okay?
No?
All right?
Yeah.
All right. Have you checked out this? Now look at this broccoli. It looks like an ordinary broccoli, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
Look closer.
What?
Each broccoli is another broccoli inside.
Wow.
More broccoli, dude. It's broccoli all the way down.
I'll do whatever you need.
Come this way.
So, the new peekaboo software to detect when things are there and then not there. We're almost done. And enter.
I want to workshop this a little bit more. Can I be the baby again?
Okay, Malcolm, go sit in the baby seat. All right. Execute simulation. Go.
It's working! Yay!
Oh, wait, what happened? Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's good. Oh.
Okay.
Get on the phone with Disney.
I did it.
You did.
I was a baby again.
You did.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Here is your arrow.
It's my-
First day of soccer tryouts. I hope my suit's snazzy enough.
Hey,
How you guys doing?
red team, huh?
Hell yeah, red team.
Gold team.
Gold team. Gold team. Well, you know,
Red team.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look, I don't know how you guys snuck into the 3-year-old soccer league, but you're clearly not wearing your suits right. You just have regular umbros on.
Yeah.
You need a tuxedo for the snazzy 3-year-old league.
Tuxedo.
We were told the neckties were the way
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
More fancy.
Bow ties and spendies all the way, baby.
Yeah. And you've got to be able to have soccer skills. Huh? You ready to go?
Yeah, like this.
Okay.
We're still going.
Amateur league.
Yeah, come on. Let's use our
Those are
arrows.
the most
Yeah,
amazing
arrows.
I've seen.
Thanks, I know I'm a 3-year-old.
They've got arrows. All right, they got arrows.
That's how it's done.
That's right.
This circle on the floor represents blank sky. The demonstration of the Big Bang is about to begin. And here, young Michael is about to have his introduction to science.
Flash!
No! Mama! Papa! Hold me! Ah, safety.
You're gonna grow up to be so debonair and charming,
And handsome.
and your legs will be great.
Mama, Papa, do you think I can count flashes when I grow up?
Yes, son, I think you can.
You will see 2 flashes and not need an arrow. You will progress beyond the arrow to the biggest camera in the world.
The Big Bang has spoken.
Yes, I've been wandering around the ship all morning.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm looking for Jonathan Colton. He's just nowhere.
Who?
Nowhere. I thought I saw a flash of him one time.
Oh, God. You know what? I saw him in the bathroom. I was washing my hands, and he was
Yeah?
like, blink, blink, and he was there, and he was gone.
Weird.
It's craziness.
I know, I was
it's
getting-
his ship. You think he could stay in a permanent reality?
Wouldn't
for
that be
a while.
nice?
I know.
You know, I was over getting food.
Yeah?
He showed up in my food and then
What?
he's gone.
That's
The
crazy.
guy almost scooped him out.
Man, there was a little kid with an arrow, and it had the face of Jonathan Colton. Yes.
Wait, hold on. Whoa. Jonathan Colton? Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Jeff.
Oh,
You
wait,
turned,
what?
You turned into him for a moment.
Oh, did I have the hair?
You did.
And the glorious beard?
The glorious
And the
beard.
musicality? Oh, God!
Like you or Jonathan Colton.
Oh, we are all Jonathan Colton!
Oh, Jonathan Colton!
All Jonathan Colton! One of us! One of us! One of us! One of us!
Let's go to like.
Honey, I'm so glad we got this date night. Lay's has been cutting back. There's only putting 84 chips in the bag.
What?
Yeah. It's
Only
the
84 chips?
family size. Yeah. That's like hardly 7 terabytes of chips in there.
It's barely a snack.
I need at least 8 terabytes of chips to fill me up.
It takes more than that to fill me up, don't you know?
Mom,
In an edible sort of way, and absolutely no euphemisms.
Yes. Hi, honey.
Hi. So I have a new Steam download going on, but it's gonna be 71 terabytes.
We only have tiny bytes. We don't have any megabytes.
Oh.
Just pretend each little chip is a character in an adventure you can go on individually.
Wow, a whole cast of 84 makes for a really large party.
Look, this ship looks like a chocobo. Wow, you can ride it. Fun!
Wow!
Oh, you always invite the strangest people for our date nights.
Our child, yes.
I wanted us to be alone.
Oh, okay, I'll solve this. Whoa, it's Darth Vader. Oh, and Luke.
Wow!
I bet they have to fight in another room.
Okay.
Plays. We bring families together and give parents some alone time.
I have very bad news, General. We just got word from Japan. The Gomo Tomoro Kaiju has come back to life, and its only goal is to take pictures of Gojira.
I thought we buried it up to its chin so that its entire body and tail was underground with only the head sticking out.
No, it has taken off the samurai hat. It is coming for Japan. We're safe here in America because we're isolationist.
Yes.
Not that I believe in that philosophically, but
No.
It's
It's short-sighted.
It is very. And
Wait, are you Chris Hill?
Yes.
I heard you love isolationism.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Oh, hey, honestly,
Well, no, I need to be alone. Bye.
and that's our first date. All right, that means it is time for round 2 of science. Let me get that up. But please welcome another Michael R.
Thank you, everyone. In my day job, I'm the director of the Center for Biological Data Science at Virginia Commonwealth University. But what I'm going to talk about now is this weird history I've had about fiddler crabs. And so I want to give you an overview of what fiddler crabs are. So first, fiddler crabs are ubiquitous in non-rocky shorelines throughout the tropics and subtropics and well into temperate zones all around the world. They are generally intertidal. By that we mean they live between the low tide and high tide marks, but their activity is when the tide is down, so they're active on land. They're not active underwater. They're generally considered keystone species for a variety of reasons. They're a major food source in wetlands. They turn over the soil, which has a lot of things to do with wetlands health. Here's a map of where they are rolled around. There are 107 species currently recognized. You can have as many as 30 different species in one place. The average anywhere in the world where you find a fiddler crab would be about 5 different species. These are both female fiddler crabs. Female fiddler crabs are not necessarily very interesting. When you look at them, they can be colorful, but they've got these 2 little claws and they don't really do anything very interesting with them. Where fiddler crabs tend to get people's attention is when you look at males. So here are males from the exact same species. And what immediately stands out to you is they've got this big giant claw on one hand, but the other hand has a little tiny claw, right? And so to compare, right, here's the male-female of the exact same species. And we've got sexual dimorphism. The males and females are very different looking. We have extreme body asymmetry. This large claw in the one arm can contain 1/3 to 40% of the body mass can be in that single limb. Right? So, the males are weird. What's going on here? Well, first of all, these are tiny crabs. The average one is about 1 inch wide. I'm talking about the size of the carapace. The smallest species is 1/4 inch in width. The largest one is only about 2 inches wide. Now the claw can be bigger. Like in this one, this is one of the common ones in the east coast of the United States. The claw is probably 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches long. The body's only 1 inch wide. So these are very tiny crabs. They range from about 1/4 inch to 2 inches in size. They can be very colorful and have lots of different patterns. These are 12 species from around the world. I just picked these pictures more or less at random, but to show differences in shape and color and variety. They can be really beautiful even though they're only this big. This one is particularly neat. If you had had the time and the inclination and had gotten off the beaten trail and had been a little bit lucky, on this trip you could have seen these 9 species in the various places we've been to, from Fort Lauderdale and the other 3 stops. These are the 9 species found across those locations. As an expert, I can happily say I saw 0. I didn't try super hard, and the reality is we weren't necessarily in great places to see them, but they were there if you could look around. So the big question comes up, what's going on with the large claw? Why do these males have this large claw? It is not for feeding. I'll talk about feeding in a little bit. It's nothing to do with feeding, right? Females don't have them. They don't need the large claw to feed. It is not about predators avoidance. Females, again, don't have the large claw. They don't need them to avoid predators. In fact, the large claw actually makes them more susceptible to predators, not less, for a couple reasons, which I'm not planning on going into. So the males actually really only do 2 things, for the most part, with that large claw. The first one is they fight with it. And so sometimes the fights are really violent, sometimes they're really simple. This just gives you an idea of 2 males kind of like, pushing at each other and clawing. I have video of it, it's not very good quality, which is why I didn't use it, of one crab picking up another one and slamming them back and forth like this before throwing them about like 8 or 9 inches away. And it's not uncommon to see them like throw the other ones around. It's hard to get good video of it, but. Okay. The other thing they do, and the thing they're even more known for, is they wave the claw. They're known for their waving. In some languages, they're known as waving crabs. Different species of bird have different bird calls. Every species of fiddler crab has a different wave. They all wave differently. They can wave vertically, they can wave to the side, sometimes they come like this, sometimes they go inside out, they'll pause, some of them will dance around while they wave. They all do something different. So here's one. If you watch this one, you can see a couple waves. He sort of puts it out. There's some pausing, right? You get an idea of what's going on. Here is a different species. This species looks almost identical to the previous one, but it's doing something different. Right? These are two closely related species, but the waves, in fact, are different. Right? Different patterns. This is some very old video. This was taken before we had things like digital cameras. The quality is not as good, but it illustrates a different type of wave, which I particularly like. This guy just holds his claw up in the air and dances. You see all these little ones in the background? They're different. They're much smaller, different species, and you can see what they're doing is nothing like what he's doing, as he dances back and forth, kind of doing this, right? No. Okay, why do they wave? That's a good question. They seem to wave for two things. Part of it's about delimiting territories, and part of it is about attracting females to those territories. And females in some species will choose males based on how well they wave. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about, why are they called fiddler crabs in the first place? Like, where does that name come from? When I started studying these, I would read things like, oh, they're called fiddler crabs because of how they wave, which makes no sense whatsoever. And you would read all sorts of things that didn't make any sense. The name goes back to at least the early 1700s, probably the late 1600s, from the east coast of the Americas, early colonialists. But there's no explanation of where the name came from. And then lots of scientists would put out names that made no sense. In Japan, the traditional Japanese name has a very poetical translation of beckoning for the return of the tide, which is a really kind of great name. But that doesn't tell you anything about fiddler crabs. One day I was out in the field watching them, and I was just watching them do stuff, and I suddenly realized where the name comes from. It was, once you see it, it's completely obvious. It's one of those optical illusions that you can't see, and then suddenly you see it, you can never not see it. Go back to, I forgot to put a video in. Go back to the female crabs. The female crabs have two little claws. Fiddler crabs are deposit feeders, which means they scoop up mud or sand, whatever they're living on. They stick it in their mouth. They roll it around. They've got bristles that take the organic matter out, and they spit out mud pellets. And females feed with both hands. They're doing this. So if you watch a female crab feeding, she's just sort of alternating, scooping food into her mouth. Male crabs can't do that. They only have one little claw. The big one's too big. They can't scoop and stuff into their mouth with it. So male crabs, when they're feeding, sometimes they're like waving. They'll feed while they're waving. Sometimes they leave their claw at the side. It varies. But if you get one at the right angle, what you'll see is they sit there. They got their big claw in front of them, and they're feeding, and they're doing this. And this motion looks like someone running a bow across the fiddle of the large claw, and that's where the name actually comes from. This is not great video of it. It was the best I could kind of find on a short notice, but you can see the notion. That's where the name comes from. That's kind of how it was developed. They do have different names in different languages. There are all sorts of them, but this is where fiddler crab comes from, which is the common English name for them. So it gives you an idea. I've been very fast. If you want more information about fiddler crabs, this is a really good website, which I'll say because I'm the one who wrote it. General information on it. Also, iNaturalist is a great source for photos of all the species. And that's where I was going to end. So.
I was so excited to see Fiddler Crab presentation, and like you, I've seen 0 fiddler crabs while on this trip, adamantly looking for them and pointing out, that's a hole where they could live, that's a hole where they could live. 0.
Yeah. Well, the Half Moon Key is too rocky and sandy in the places where we were. If you've gotten off of that, certainly there are some in the Bahamas. San Juan, you'd have to get out of the main city to find them for sure. I think there probably were a lot of them in the Big Lagoon in St. Martin yesterday. I didn't happen to get to walk around the lagoon, but it looked like great territory for them to be in the marshes at the edges.
And did anyone see a crab?
I saw a crab. I don't think it was a fiddler crab.
Wow.
Yeah, the fiddler crabs are like this big, so yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Collectively, we've seen 1 crab. 2 crabs. Okay, then back to you. Out of all the different things to compute and study and figure out trends and maybe populations, genetics, what led you to fiddler crabs?
It was a complete accident. When I was a grad student, early in my grad student, I was working with someone and it wasn't really working out. I was looking, there was someone else I wanted to work with who happened to study fiddler crabs, and I needed to do a project as part of the graduate training, and I wanted to learn a particular method. So I said, okay, just to do this project as part of it, I'll do a study, learn this method, apply it to fiddler crabs, and that'll be it. And then 5 years later, my entire dissertation was on fiddler crabs, and I discovered I was apparently suddenly like the world expert on their taxonomy, which was not a plan, and it's been almost exactly 25 years since then. It'll be 25 years in about a month, just under 2 months since I defended my dissertation. And I've gone back and forth to fiddler crabs over the years in terms of research, but I've always maintained like the website and information regardless of whether I was actively studying them. And so, because I had that expertise, it's just something I tried to keep the information out there so people could get it. I've identified something like 20,000 photos on iNaturalist of fiddler crabs, because not a lot of people can actually tell a lot of them apart.
Wow. Are you going to do anything special for your 25th anniversary of studying fiddler crabs?
No.
Okay.
I'm not planning on it, no.
All right.
I mean, actually, I started studying them early. The 25th is when I finished my dissertation, not when I started studying. That's closer to 30 years now.
So you gotta celebrate 30 years. What marriage level is that? Like at a precious metals?
I think that's what this cruise is.
Okay.
This is our celebration of his 25th year.
So make sure tonight you think when you're having dessert or a drink, thanks fiddler crabs. All right, and this might be the meanest question, but do you have a favorite fiddler crab species? Maybe the one you said, that's cool.
I do. There's a picture of it. My favorite species. Okay, so just about a year ago, late March, when I was reasonably new on Blue Sky, I jokingly kind of made a statement on Blue Sky that I'm going to do a fiddler crab tournament and have all the species compete against each other, and then I was going to add ghost crabs. I did that like on a Friday. And then I spent the weekend thinking about it and actually looked it up and discovered there were exactly 132 species between fiddler crabs and ghost crabs, which means I could do like a 4-round play-in and then have a perfect bracket. 700 posts later, and a word count that's like well in novella length. When I worked out, it lasted almost exactly a month. I determined, which I did not predetermine this because it was actually already my favorite species, but the winner was this one right here, which I particularly like, and it's actually one I've personally studied in the wild. This is called Yucca stylifera, the styled fiddler crab. It's found on the Pacific coast of the Americas. You can't really tell. This species has a style coming out of its eye that goes all the way up to here, only on the one side, on the side with the large claw. It's always on the side of the large claw. And when we talk about the asymmetry, you can't see this in a lot of species, but in this one you can. In the males, the eye on the side with the large claw is longer than the eye on the side with the small claw. That's actually true for all species, just in most of them it's more subtle. In this particular group, it's much more obvious. Even ignoring the style, it's much more obvious that the eye's longer. But that happens to be my favorite species. This one's probably poorer looking, but I really like that.
You can see the eyes in the lower two.
Yeah, some of the other ones.
Stalks of the eyes.
I don't think it's going to get better than that for interesting crab facts. So thank you for your participation. And that means we are going into round 2 of our improv, which will start right now.
Stacy, are you ready for the bachelor auction?
Yes, Melissa, I can't wait.
These contestants are going to be so great this year.
I know. I saw some big claws backstage.
Some big claws. Are you seeing that wave?
A big claw and great legs. 8.
Nice technique. A little loose.
Yes. So dynamic.
Ooh, look at that sachet on that one. That's a 7 for me.
Oh. The queen crab.
Yeah, you don't see that every year.
That royal wave. Very exciting.
More small things to eat, ma'ams.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye. Oh yeah, it is me, Krabby Savage. Yeah, you stepped into the savage zone. I'm taking you down to the underworld. I don't think so, brother. Let's engage in combat. Ding, ding, ding. You're stronger than you look. You're not so bad yourself. I know. I mean, we don't have to go after the females. We could be friends. The females are pretty boring. Fast forward to being best friends. Oh my God, bro. This is awkward, but thank you. I've just gotten some bad news from the NBA commissioner.
What? Oh no.
We have to expand March Madness to include 132 teams.
That means we need to come up with 132 team names.
Yeah, so we're going to expand to college, high school,
Okay.
AA, triple B. Oh, we're going to have to make up new divisions.
The entire alphabet of letters of divisions.
Yes. Thankfully, we have a buddy named Mike who's made the entire data graphic in perfect detail, and it works out in multiples of 4 somehow.
Wow, that's miraculous.
I tried to do the math, but my brain froze.
So, who are you putting on your top final 4?
Oh God. It froze again.
Oh no! You really gotta get that checked out.
I can't afford a hospital or a doctor now that we have 3 years to complete this bracket.
Let's get you some coffee, warm that brain up.
Oh, thank you.
Stacy, I'm so glad you decided to go to crab prom with me.
Me too, Chad.
You just make me want to do this. When I do this, all I can think of is you. I like the way that you eat detritus.
Excuse me, may I cut in?
It's up to you.
I'm dancing with Chad tonight, Toby.
Well, what if I do this?
I'm sorry. It's the beckoning of the time.
Hey,
Want to dance?
sorry, I'd love to.
Chad, I hope you'll take me back.
I'll take you back. We need to lay eggs. That's why we came to crab prom.
Hey, leave room for crab Jesus, people.
Alright, West Side crabs.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, we got the West Coast crabs here.
Whoa!
We all wave in the same way, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
We can tell each other apart from all the other crabs.
Because we have the same wave.
That's right. Let's put let's put our claws in the air and wave like we just don't care.
Okay.
What? Yep, exactly the same.
Never a different thing.
No.
This certainly is an interesting behavior. I've never observed this in the wilds.
Looks the same to me.
Yeah.
I wonder what it means. It must be a strange mating ritual.
I think that guy knows that we're by.
No.
Looking at this post you just posted, you're the foremost expert on crabs in 6 months.
Yes, that's me. I've identified 20,000 pictures.
Wow, that's miraculous.
It is.
What's your favorite type of crab? Like, what is their wave?
Well, I would say these, but I don't know. They didn't win the contest.
They are very colorful, though.
They are.
Doctor, I know you just started doing crabs, but
I did.
you gotta make a choice.
Oh.
Fiddler crab A, fiddler crab B. You choose A, war with China. Choose B, war with Iran.
Oh my god.
Taxonomy time. A, B.
What if I combine them both into one scientific name? The AB.
The ABs? Are you saying a carapace could get up to 2 inches?
I think so.
No, it's never been done. This is unfathomable for geopolitics.
So we're going to war with China and Iran. Over.
What you've done, I hope you're happy about this.
I mean, I am. I didn't have to choose.
I'm gonna revoke your grant based on these ramifications.
You just got word that everybody else wants another war too.
When I say fiddler, you say crab, fiddler! Crab! Fiddler! Crab! When I say fiddler, you say crab, fiddler! Crab! Fiddler! Crab! They're a little bit, they're just so tiny, they're just only 1 inch tall. And they've got these claws, ones that's really small.
Yeah!
Fiddler!
Crab!
Fiddler!
Crab!
Fiddler!
Crab!
Fiddler!
Crab!
Oh, welcome to ye old 1600s taxonomy naming club. I have found something that I think will go great in the lexicon. There is a deer. It's a deer. The crab's coming up next. This is, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, am I late?
Yeah, oh, thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so.
Blasphemy!
No, wait, whoa. Hold on. You haven't heard the name. You haven't heard the name. It's a deer, and it's not anywhere near a humid place where it rains a lot. It's the exact opposite. It's in a very cold place, so I'm going to call it a reindeer. It has nothing to do with anything else.
Now, I told you this would be an interesting short excursion.
Acceptable. Acceptable. Crab? Crab time?
Yes,
crab.
totally time for crabs. Thank you, dear.
Hey, is this Bunny's Anonymous?
It is. Thank you. Yes, this one is a naked bunny, and I'm going to call it a hare. Yeah. Thank you, bunny.
So the 2025 models just came in.
Yes.
As you can see, we've got a lot of new colors here available for your choosing. Now, any one of these is going to fit into the clear hat that you'll wear on your head with a tiny ecosystem inside.
Oh, that's great.
These are great. You're going to be seen on the street with any of these. Now,
Thank
do have
you,
a
Luigi.
preference?
Oh,
Yes.
of course. It's beautiful what you've done. The patterns, the colors, the claws, they attract. They just wave to me the right way. What
It's
can
the
I
least
say?
I can do. It's the
Oh,
least I
gosh.
can do.
You're the best haberdasher in all of Spain. Thank you so much. I think I'll go with the off yellow with a little touch of red. And
Love it.
does this mean you'll be accepting my proposal for marriage?
Yes, and.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Allow me to bring out the marriage hats. One for you and one for you. Congratulations, you're married.
Thank you.
So quick!
Gosh, old Spain was fast.
And here's the divorce hat. It's okay, it happens a lot.
I'm going to eat mine.
Hey, flash.
That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right? Yes. I thought so too. I've been practicing. Flash.
He did it again! One more time.
Flash.
The Crab Nebula.
You have stumbled upon my Dracula beach at low tide when we are active. I will suck your blood.
All I wanted to do was build a sandcastle.
No.
Really
Wait a
elaborate.
second. Sandcastle? Are you underage?
Yeah.
Damn it! Why do the kids keep coming to the... I'm gonna put the cake down. This is ridiculous. You kids, go get your adults so I can have some dinner.
I have a permission slip that lets you suck my blood, though.
Oh, I don't know that that's legal. Let me see. Oh, God, who would write this? Oh, it's the governor of Arkansas. What a horrible person.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's why I escaped, to go to this beach.
Oh?
To be among the crabs. I feel more home.
You should be in here.
Yes, this is the government of Arkansas. You're wanting to go on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, there's vampires there.
There's vampires, but honestly, you're more crabby and upsetting and blood-sucking, so I'm gonna just go live on the beach. No shelter, much better than Arkansas.
Well, I should probably write you a permission slip, you know, just in case you want to explore the local culture.
This says, ha ha ha, you fool, you can never escape.
Yeah, sorry. See those ones. Let's go.
Oh, it's a slow day at the Children's Crab Penitentiary. I hope somebody... Oh, hey, Robert. Hey, Susie.
Bob.
Susie, you never told us what you were in for.
I rigged a bachelor contest.
Oh. What? How could you? With so many available bachelors out there, you knew who you wanted without the contest?
Yes,
Oh, God.
I was in love.
Oh,
His name was Bill.
what a lovely name.
He had the biggest claw you've ever seen.
Oh, he sounds like a big claw.
And the way he would wave. Hey there!
Hey, do you like this? It's basically what I call Half Moon K.
I'm gonna give you all my eggs!
Wow. As long as you don't stab me and have to go to jail.
That's the most passionate story I've ever heard. Sounded like you deserved it, though.
It was a brief but torrid affair.
Oh. God.
He played my heart like a fiddle.
Oh.
Anybody want to borrow my much smaller crab to use as a weightlifting device? Here, catch.
Oh. Oh. Wow. I can see why your arm's so big.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Something carapace.
Yeah.
All right, use yard time. Get out to your rocky crevices between the tides.
Flash. Flash.
Are they still not getting it?
No. No. But the crabs do.
The crabs too.
They do. They get it.
Look, that one's gonna get his arrow any day now.
Yes. Any day. Flash. Flash.
Yeah, you just keep looking with your one big eye. I can't see it with my smaller eye, but there's something under
Oh.
It's beautiful to watch.
He's coming alive. They are gaining the arrow.
I reach it. Someday.
Touch it.
Thaddeus, come here. We taught the arrow things to the crabs now.
We don't have to worry about them not counting waves right.
Fascinating. If only I'd thought before of looking at the crabs instead of the stupid people.
You silly gods, you've given us arrows. We know everything.
God, they can see us now, too.
Oh
We'll be around if you want to chat. We've done the show a couple times, not everyone up here, but if you want to bring more improv to science or merge, vice versa, happy to chat, trying to blend all that. Thanks for your time. I think there's another improv show at 5. We're not in it, but it's going to be great. Yeah, thanks for all our scientists. And again, we've got, let's see if I can pull off the Chris Hilfiger. Yeah, please. Make sure you're,
Tip your wings
don't
down.
forget to tip your wings. Yeah, don't forget to do so. All right, goodbye, everybody.